story is about, you guys have probably heard about this before. It was a young man who, he wanted to make a lot of money, and so he went to this guru, right? And he told the guru, I want to be on the same level you on. And so the guru said, if you want to be on the same level I'm on, I'll meet you tomorrow at the beach at 4 a.m. He like, the beach? I said, I want to make money. I don't want to swim. Guru said, if you want to make money, I'll meet you tomorrow, 4 a.m. So the young man got there at 4 a.m. He all ready to rock and roll, got on the suit. He should have wore shorts. The old man grabs his hand and said, how bad do you want to be successful? He said, real bad. He said, walk on out in the water. So he walks out into the water. Watch this. When he walks out into the water, it goes waist deep. So he like, this guy crazy. Adrian, he like, I want to make money. He got me out here swimming. I didn't ask to be a lifeguard. I want to make money. He got me in. So he said, come out a little further. Walked out a little further. Then he had it right around this area, the shoulder area. So this old man crazy. He making money, but he crazy. He said, come on out a little further. Came out a little further. It was right at his mouth. My man like, I'm about to go back in here. This God is mine. So the old man said, I thought you said you wanted to be successful. He said, I do. He said, walk a little further. He came, dropped his head in, held him down, hold him down. My man getting scratching, holding him down. He had him held down. Just before my man was about to pass out, he raised him up. He said, I got a question for you. Somebody answer the question for me. He said, when you were underwater, what did you want to do? He said, I wanted to breathe. He told the guy, he said, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. I don't know how many of y'all got asthma in here today, but if you ever had an asthma attack before, you short of breath, SOB, shortness of breath, you wheezing. The only thing you trying to do is get some air. You don't care about no basketball game. You don't care what's on TV. You don't care about nobody calling you. You don't care about a party. The only thing you care about when you're trying to breathe is to get some fresh air. That's it. And when you get to the point where all you want to do is be successful as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. And I'm here to tell you, number one, that most of you say you want to be successful, but you don't want it bad. You just kind of want it. Listen to me. Pain is temporary. It may last for a minute or an hour or a day or even a year. But eventually it will subside and something else will take its place. If I quit, however, it will last forever. Anytime we get a hold of anything and we put our whole selves in, it's a wrap. Anytime we put our whole selves in, Tiger Woods, it's only 1 or 2 of color. Tiger killing them. Tiger put his whole self in only once when his father died. Emotionally, he couldn't put his whole self in and he lost. Other than that, Tiger's killing him. Serena back at it again. She won the other day. She didn't put her whole self back into it. When Serena's on top of her game, Venus on top of their game, the only people that can beat them is themselves. I need all televisions off. I need cell phones off. Listen to me. Some of you are going to be broke for the rest of your life because of that little thing on the side. You're going to be broke for the rest of your life because of a little cell phone. Folks, they see my cell phone, they laugh. This to buy 1, get 17 free, she said. Guess what, though? Because this ain't where it's at for me. But you had some young brothers come to my house last night. Yep, that's where it's at, because that's an investment. That's an investment. That's equity right there. That's what I don't play cell phone games. I play the equity game. I own 2 homes, 1 in Alabama, 1 here. I play the equity game. I don't play the cell phone game. Only person getting paid off of this is AT&T, Sprint, Verizon. I don't make any money. And I suggest to those of you who have a cell phone, you might want to get some stock from the cell phone company you're working with. If you got AT&T, you might want to start buying stock from AT&T because you're spending a lot of money on a monthly basis. So you might as well buy stock and get some of your money back. You play games when you come here because you got gear on, but you know where you're from in Detroit. You know where you're from in Flint. You know where you're from in Saginaw. And you know your parents are broke. You know some of you got to do the spray around the house. You know some of you got about 7, 8 folks living in one house. And there ain't no real room for you when you go back. This is your opportunity to blow up. Now we put on for each other, but we know the reality with some of us where we live. And our parents don't have no money. And they taking out loans, working 2 or 3 jobs for you. It's not about us just coming and talking to you. You're in a state of emergency. Because back in the 60s when we went to school and got educated and we brought it home. We're not bringing it home no more. When we go home for Thanksgiving, we're not teaching our cousin to cut off BET. As a matter of fact, we're listening to BET with them. And we're not saying that hip-hop music in itself is wrong, but we're saying because they don't have a father in their lives, hip-hop has become their dad. And so we're not telling them at a young age, study Shakespeare. We're not telling them at a young age that they need to know the 8 parts of speech. We're not telling them that when you get to college, you're going to need math. Du Bois said it is the talented 10. It is the best of our race who will save the contaminated of our race. The whole black community is dependent upon the students who go to college. If we can't count on those of us who are getting educated, who can we count on? The drug dealers? Are they going to teach them? The pimps? Are they going to teach them? It is the responsibility of those of us who are privileged. Don't fool yourself because of your little SAT scores. There were blacks who were smarter than us who couldn't go to college because it was illegal, who couldn't get an education. So don't fool yourself because you're here and you think you all of that. You are here because of the backs of people like the Dr. Martin Luther King, who had a doctorate degree, who did not have to get involved in the struggle, who was in the middle class, who lost his wife and his children for the struggle. He had a PhD. He had a good job as a minister. He was making good money, but he gave it all up so that we could go to school one day. I say this all the time. Coretta, what did she have to go through? She lost Dr. Martin Luther King. Let me tell you something. When you lose Dr. Martin Luther King, who else you going to get married to? Like, who's the runner-up bachelor? So once your husband dies, you're going to be by yourself for the rest of your life. You're not going to hook up with another Dr. Martin Luther King. Their children, the children grew up without their father. He did not have to die in the struggle, but he made a conscious decision that it's a state of emergency, and if I want a Barack to ever have a chance, I've got to sacrifice my life now. You're a junior, it's your responsibility to take a freshman under your wing, to take a sophomore under your wing, and not to haze them, not to humiliate them. That's not what it's about. That's not what we're here for. Not to make them go and do your laundry. You grown, do your own laundry. Not to make them fill up your car with gas. That's not what Martin did. That's not what Malcolm did. As a matter of fact, as the leader, I am to serve. So I need to wash your clothes if you're a freshman. I need to buy you food if you're a freshman, if you're a sophomore. I need to help you. And so it's important that we gather these values and then we go back to our communities and we instill these values into our young people. Let me tell you something. There are a lot of people who go to work every single day who cannot afford a Mercedes-Benz. There are people with good jobs who cannot afford a 500 series, right? So the first thing I want to say is this. We got to keep it real. For most of us, it's going to be challenging for us to be successful because we're not used to seeing it. And so I'm not saying we can't do it, but I'm saying you got to be real about the fact that you've not seen success, and because you have not seen success, you're going to have to work a little harder than the average person.
I was homeless for 2.5 years. And the problem with most of you, you never felt no pain before. Y'all spoiled. Y'all spoiled. Some of y'all spoiled. Just bottom line. Your parents have done everything for you. You never had to do nothing for yourself. You're spoiled. We're going to keep it real tonight. Some of you are spoiled brats. Every time you ever got in trouble, somebody in your house got you out of it. Every time you've done something you're not supposed to do, people say, Eric, your mother's a tyrant. You're right. She kicked me out. You're right. She's mean, but she developed a man because she put me out there and said, you're going to have to grow up. And some of you have never learned to grow up. You ain't going to die. At the end of pain is success. You're not going to die because you're feeling a little pain. I'm not eating like I eat at home. That's why you're about to go to the next level, because if you keep eating like you ate at home, you will keep being a boy or a girl. It's time to become man, woman.